We separated to save our marriage. She used it to sleep with 6 people. My wife and I have been married for 6 years. No kids. For most of that time, we were happy. Or at least, I thought we were. I worked the night shift, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., while she worked days. It wasn't ideal, but it worked for us. I'd come home exhausted, sleep while she was at work, and we'd see each other in the evenings. Then the pandemic hit, and everything changed. She started working from home full-time, which meant my sleep schedule was suddenly her background noise. Zoom calls at 10 a.m., conference meetings at noon, vacuuming, blasting music, talking to her mom on speaker, all while I was trying to sleep after 8 hours of night work. At first, I asked nicely if she could be a little quieter or work from the living room. She rolled her eyes and said, "I have a job too, you know. The world doesn't revolve around your sleep schedule." That's when things started falling apart. I was constantly tired and irritable. Every little thing turned into an argument. We'd eat dinner in silence, scrolling on our phones, pretending the other didn't exist. It felt like we were 2 strangers sharing rent. Then one night, after yet another fight, I said maybe we should try a trial separation, just to cool off, figure ourselves out. She didn't even hesitate. "Yeah," she said. "I think that's a good idea." That hit harder than I expected. My company was offering hotel rooms for essential workers who didn't want to risk bringing COVID home, so I moved out. Before I left, I asked her one question, not to accuse, just to clarify boundaries. "So, are we seeing other people during this time?" Her face went red instantly. "Are you serious right now? That's where your head goes? Maybe this whole thing isn't even worth it if you're thinking about other women." I apologized, told her I was just trying to understand the rules. She ignored me and walked away, so I focused on myself. Therapy twice a week, long walks after work. I realized how much the night shift was destroying my mental health, the exhaustion, the irritability, the loneliness. I talked to my boss and switched to days. It changed everything. I started to feel like me again. I learned how to communicate, how to set boundaries without blowing up. For the first time in years, I felt like I was actually growing. A few months ago, we started couples therapy. To my surprise, it went really well. We were open, honest. We talked about our mistakes. She said she was working on patience, on compromise. She even said she was proud of how much progress I'd made. After 6 months of therapy, we decided I'd move back in next month. We'd give our marriage a second chance. Then last week, everything fell apart again. We were in therapy, and our therapist was smiling, saying how proud she was of how far we'd come. Then, almost as an afterthought, she said, "Before we finish, I just want to confirm, have you both completely ended any relationships you may have had during the separation?" I laughed. "Relationships? What relationships? I didn't see anyone. I was too busy fixing myself." Silent. I looked over at my wife. She wasn't laughing. She was staring at the floor, hands shaking in her lap. Our therapist looked at her gently. "Would you like to answer the question?" My wife's voice came out so quiet I barely heard it. I thought we were on a break. The world went still. I felt my stomach drop. I just stared at her, waiting for her to say she was kidding. She didn't. The therapist asked softly, "How many people?" My wife broke down crying. "I don't know, maybe 5, 6. I didn't keep count." I stood up, walked out, and never looked back. She's been calling and texting non-stop ever since. The messages swing from guilt to anger. "You never said we couldn't see other people. You're the one who brought it up first. You made it sound like we were free to explore." She keeps saying it was a misunderstanding, that she thought separation meant freedom, that she needed to feel something again. I don't care what she thought. I asked her directly before I left, and she made me feel like garbage for even suggesting it. She weaponized guilt to stop me from doing exactly what she went out and did 6 times over. I spent that year tearing myself apart to become a better man for her. She spent it pretending to work on herself while treating our marriage like an open relationship I never agreed to. So yeah, I'm done. I've already talked to a lawyer. Papers are being filed next week. She can tell her family, her friends, her therapist, whoever she wants, that I gave up on our marriage. The truth is, she killed it the moment she decided our vows came with a pause button.